Rick James was an R&B and rock artist who was mainly popular in the 1980s R&B scene. His album Glow, released in 1985, was released at the peak of his popularity. Rick appeared on the popular 80s show The A-Team later that year. Most people know Rick James's song Super Freak, which gained notoriety after rapper MC Hammer sampled the song in 1990 for his song You Can't Touch This. The song won a Grammy at the 1991 Grammy Awards. James got a Grammy for composing the song. This was Rick James's only Grammy win, which came off the back of another artist. Ouch. James was a known drug addict, struggling with cocaine and crack during his career. Only months after his solo Grammy win, it was revealed the type of person Rick James really was. On August 2nd, 1991, James and his girlfriend were arrested on charges of holding 24-year-old Frances Alley hostage for up to 6 days, tying her up, forcing her to perform acts, and burning her legs and abdomen with the hot end of a crack pipe during a week-long cocaine binge. James faced a maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted on all charges, which included assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated mayhem, forcible oral copulation, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. On November 3rd, 1992, while out on bail for that incident, James, under the influence of cocaine, assaulted music executive Mary Sauger at the St. James Club and Hotel in West Hollywood. Sauger claims she met James for a business meeting, but said the two then and beat her over a 20-hour period. James was found guilty of 2 offenses and sentenced to 5 years in Folsom Prison, as well as being ordered to pay the victim $1 million. If you needed any more evidence, this guy was a piece of shit. In 1998, James was accused of a 26-year-old woman, but the charges were later dropped. In August of 2004, Rick James died at the age of 56 due to his health issues as well as the toll drugs took on his body. Even after the horrible truth of the artist came out, over 6,000 people attended his funeral.
Pop singer Rick James is being accused of all kinds of terrible things, and authorities are taking it very seriously. Rick Kirkham with the latest from Los Angeles.
The singer has been in jail since last Friday, along with his girlfriend, Tanya Ann Hijazi. Both arrested 2 weeks after an unidentified woman went to authorities with her story.
Tim Lambesis is best known as the founder and lead vocalist of metalcore band As I Lay Dying, as well as a solo act, Austrian Death Machine. In August 2012, Lambesis sent an email to his wife while on tour with As I Lay Dying, in which he stated he no longer loved her, had engaged in an affair, and no longer believed in God. They separated the same month. On May 7, 2013, Lambesis was arrested for attempting to hire a hitman to murder his estranged wife, Megan Murphy. According to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department, the artist was charged with soliciting an undercover detective to kill his wife. Lambesis approached someone at the gym and asked if he knew anyone who would kill his wife. Lambesis met with undercover agents posing as a hitman, codenamed Red. According to the district attorney, Red asked Lambesis if he wanted his wife of 8 years gone, and Lambesis replied, "Yes, that's what I want." He then gave the undercover agent an envelope containing $1,000 for expenses, pictures of his wife, her address, the code to get through a gate, and the date on which to kill her. Lambesis had directed the detective he believed to be a hitman to kill his wife while he was with his children, so he would have an alibi. He agreed to pay $20,000 for the hit. Lambesis was released on $2 million bail and was ordered to wear a GPS tracking device, and was barred from seeing his kids. This led to As I Lay Dying canceling their tour with Killswitch Engage. In 2014, Lambesis was sentenced to 6 years in prison, but served it on house arrest instead. In late 2016, he was paroled and promptly released. Lambino returned to As I Lay Dying and the band seemingly disbanded in 2022.
Online posts from local Christian rock star accused of hiring a hitman to kill his wife. It's now been taken down.
Well, the statement was posted on a Tumblr page for Tim Lambesis. New at 5 o'clock, 10 News reporter Dan Haggerty has the strange request that Lambesis had for his family.
Sid Vicious is remembered as being an icon in the 1970s UK punk scene. Vicious played bass in notorious punk band the Sex Pistols, although he could barely play the instrument. Sid was a well-known heroin addict and had been given heroin for the first time by his own mother for his birthday. Sid, as well as his girlfriend, Nancy Spungen, were well-known heroin addicts, and in 1978, the couple hosted a party in their hotel room. Vicious passed out due to the vast amount of assorted drugs he had taken, and at 11 a.m. the next morning, hotel staff found Nancy Spungen dead in the bathroom. Vicious was found wandering the hallway and admitted that he killed her. Vicious was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Vicious went back and forth saying the two had argued and that he had stabbed her but had not meant to kill her, before changing his story, saying he didn't remember anything. Vicious was released on $25,000 bail, and after being released from Rikers Island, hosted a party at a friend's apartment. Vicious died during his sleep of a heroin overdose. It's been debated if Sid actually murdered Nancy Spungen.
Where would you like to be?
Under the ground.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Before rising to fame thanks to his marriage to Tina Turner, Ike Turner was a musician in his own right. He was a pioneer of rock and roll in the early days, but his marriage to Tina saw him go down as someone with an abusive past rather than the rock legend he probably hoped. It's reported that Ike took Tina to a gentleman's house on their wedding night and would routinely get so physical that she was left with several injuries, including a broken jaw and nose. Some even claim that Ike shot at Tina's house when they split and drove her to try and take her own before defending his actions. Ike admitted to hitting Tina and even revealed he wrote an apology letter to her, but never sent it. Ike also seemed to have an issue with infidelity, as he was married 14 times. On December 10, 2007, he told his assistant that he believed he was dying and would not live until Christmas. Turner died 2 days later, on December 12th, at the age of 76, in his home in San Marcos, California. He was found dead by his former wife, Ann Thomas. Medical staff arrived and administered CPR, but Turner was pronounced dead at 11:38 a.m. Huddy William Ledbetter, better known as Leadbelly, was mostly known for his song "Where Did You Sleep Last Night," which was covered by Kurt Cobain in 1993 as part of Nirvana's MTV Unplugged set. Cobain was a huge fan of Leadbelly, and the singer's history was seemingly forgotten about. In 1915, he escaped a chain gang and started using the assumed name of Walter Boyd. In 1917, at a dance near New Boston, Texas, Leadbelly shot Will Stafford between the eyes. Enraged over the songwriter's derogatory remarks about his girlfriend, Stafford drew his pistol a little too slowly and a moment later lay dead on the floor. Leadbelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison, but was pardoned in 1925 after writing a song for Governor Pat Neff. Leadbelly was charged with attempted murder shortly after release, and notably had a temper problem, which led to him being incarcerated in Rikers Island in 1939. In December of 1949, he died of ALS. In the 1980s, Louisiana erected a historical marker at his gravesite. He is in numerous Rock Hall of Fames, despite his shaky past. James Brown was one of the most popular R&B singers of the last 50 years. He had numerous hits and was heavily praised. In 1988, Brown entered an insurance seminar brandishing a pistol and shotgun before ordering everyone to leave the premises. He then fled the scene in his truck to evade capture. Brown was sentenced to prison for this. On Christmas Day, 2006, Brown died of congestive heart failure at the age of 73. Brown had seemingly dropped dead out of nowhere, as he voluntarily left the hospital on Christmas Eve to be with his family. In 2014, 2 of Brown's kids released books detailing domestic abuse and other dark family secrets. His daughter revealed that Brown was extremely abusive towards his wife, Dee Dee. Brown also began a relationship with a 6-year-old girl in the 1960s. Brown also reportedly abused this girlfriend. Brown was arrested on numerous occasions relating to domestic abuse during the course of his life. He was charged with abuse at least 3 times during his relationship with Adrienne Brown. In 2004, the 71-year-old Brown was once again arrested for shoving his wife during an argument. Brown's daughter says she's accepted abuse as part of a normal life due to her father's antics. Many still hold Brown to high acclaim, seemingly disregarding his decades of abuse. Ian Watkins was the lead vocalist for Welsh rock act Lost Prophets. Their album Weapons, released in 2012, got decent traction, but even more after it was revealed how much of a twisted human being their frontman was. I can't go into all the details of Watkins' crimes because he's number 1 on this list for a reason. In December of 2012, Watkins was arrested for numerous and other disgusting crimes. I can't stress how horrible these acts are, and you're free to go look them up yourself, as they're too gruesome to put in this video. Ian Watkins was convicted of 6 separate offenses and was sentenced to 29 years in prison in 2013. Watkins is currently serving his prison sentence, and in 2014, Lost Prophets disbanded and formed a new group, No Devotion.
There's a lot of people here.
What would you say to people who call this hobby creepy and weird?
The usual people who call it creepy, call it weird, are people who haven't actually had the pleasure of actually spending a day watching people